are now face to face. No, know you're hungry, but say your grace. Soon they mention your name with grace. It's not just bars, you made your case. So I think it's time we change our pace. Yo, with Brooklyn's finest, we made mistakes. So what you heard, you got the right one. Try something different, you got the right one. Never get left, you got that right one. Buzz songs with some meaning, you got the right one. So you never see me cruising despite I like rum. Yo, they still taking shots despite punch. So fuck it now, let's get into it. That 6 bands just didn't do it. When I spit this music, see that it's a different class in the class. So I give this to the zap. Put some work, I would call, got my ass right. Told them where I'm from, using bad cause I'm that nice. No credit, so now I'm dropping gems. Me, I feel that good. Chemistry just gotta get the math right. So I'm used to hard knocks. Say my shit is whack. You abuse them hard rock. You know, use them hard knocks. I got hot, that my name and ring the bells. But it's cool up from the school of hard knocks. It is bars ever told through Pro 2. Trying to be the GOAT, but it's no you local. They the future and the go-to's go-to. Noble. Nah, looking down from the ledge. Wanna see me bow with the crown on my head. Looking down, but instead what they said don't amount to a mountain, amount to a mountain instead. I said it amount to a mountain instead. I'd rather send a mouth to a mountain than sex with that doubt on the dawn. Just words from the mouth, but the girls looking out through the mouth full of charm. Thousands of songs, even more on these skates, so I couldn't care less about them couches I'm on. Couldn't care less about them couches I'm on. Nah. Now they not kicking out who about to perform. And them bottles of form got girlies going crazy. You can see they lose. Birds is out here flying over birds, and I don't see criminals. Nothing to go around, just hold it down and then I'll meet it through. Swear I'll go through this shit all the time up in the DJ booth.
That's a dope intro right there. It makes me think, right? I'm a fan of intros. You know, it kind of gives me like that classic feel, that 90s vibe. People were actually strategic in how they put projects together. What I want to know is, did you go into it writing this, knowing it was going to be the intro, or was it recorded? You came back later like, yeah, this is how I want to start the project off.
Alright, so with this project, I wanted the beat to be epic. I wanted it to be different from what's already out and from what I did last time. So in the intro, I started off by saying, with Brooklyn's finest, we made mistakes. You know, it's not just bars, you made your case, you know? And I wanted it to be, he's different. The things that I got from the last album was, a lot of the beats sounded the same. I got, you know, you rapping the same, everything's the same concept, everything is that and third, whatever. It's always the same. So I went into this saying, you know what, I'm gonna choose a different producer to start it off with. I'm gonna make sure the beat is epic and stays in the mind and stands out like, oh shit, he's doing something different. I'm gonna rap differently, I'm gonna choose a different flow pattern, everything. You're gonna see that it's different. And everything that I'm rapping about in the intro is what I felt I did wrong in the first album. What I felt, what everybody else felt, all the criticism. I took heed in that, you know. So when I was rapping about the features, I brought up, you know, Cortez, man, Powerful, Misfit, when you listen to what I'm saying. You know, put some work, I will call, got my abs right, so I'm where I'm from, using fabrics, I'm damn nice. You know, Curtis sold now, dropping gyms in there, for that good chemistry, just couldn't get the math right. That's all the features, a lot of the battle rap features that I had on there.
Yeah, the last project was heavy with the battle rap features. You know, I understood why you did it, you know, trying to capitalize on this momentum and really represent for Brooklyn. But in listening to the project, I could tell how, you know, number one, it was very different, and number two, it was honest. So how did you get to that point where it was like, okay, I want to do something different, but at the same time, I feel like I want to give them more of me? Talk about that.
So what happened with this project is, again, with the criticism that I heard last time, people was always saying, you know, you could rap, which I wanted to show on Brooklyn's finest. You could rap, you could do it. You got bars, you got this and the third. And then I felt that's all they would say about me. I could rap. You know, then I'll always hear, why don't you battle? Why don't you battle? I'm a battle rapper. You got bars, battle.
Yeah.
Nah, it's more to me than just that, you know?
I agree.
It's things that go on in my life that bother me, you feel me? And then around this time I was writing, I was going through depression. You know, I was going through everything. So I said, you know what, let me vent. And let me put it in song format. You know, what's going on in today's climate of hip hop, people don't want to think about nothing. People don't want to sit down and dissect bars and stuff like that. They just rather vibe, they rather flow.
Yeah.
So I said, you know what?
Everything's a vibe.
So you know what, let me do that. Let me make it relatable, but not try. Let me give them what I'm going through, and I know somebody else is going through it. You know?
I respect that, because it's definitely, you know, listen to the material. It's a lot of relatable, you know, content. You know, like I said, it's very honest. You know, you have songs like Mama, you know, which is a touchy subject. And a lot of times in music, you hear people, you know, they mention their parents, be a mother or father, but in a different tone. You know, kind of like from a gratitude of like, you know, mom or dad, you were there for me, and now look, I made it. But the way that you approached mentioning your mother, you know, it could be a little harsh.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Did she hear it? What was her reaction to it?
She heard it. She heard a lot of the records, honestly, and she called me. I don't speak to my mom on a daily basis, basically because when you hear the project, when they hear the project, they'll know. We really don't speak on a daily basis at all. We don't have a bad relationship, you know, but it's hard to talk to her because how I feel. You know, I got kicked out at 18. As soon as I got my first job, you know, get out. You feel me? So I had to fend on my own, and it's hard for me to get away from that. So rather than me do, you know, play the streets and do this and the third and do something stupid, you know, I decided to take my anger out the lyrical route. You know, let me do that. And then her response was, you know, she told me I'm sorry. She was like, yo, Christian, I'm sorry. And I was like, you know, I respect it. She was like, I didn't mean to make you feel no type of way. I didn't mean to make you do this and the third. You know, I'm proud of you. And it took a lot. You know, writing that record kind of, it brought tears to my eyes, you feel me? Because there's a lot of pain in that record.
Do you feel like the weight has been lifted, and did it make it easier to touch on some of the other subjects? You know, the kid's mother, and you know what I'm saying, and things of that nature. Did it make it easier? Like, it's like very, it's like boom, here you go, the hardest subject, talking about my mother. You know, letting you guys know what I went through as a kid. You know, and again, like you said, different. For me, that's like a prevailing theme of being different. A lot of people will talk about, you know, maybe their mom dealing with their vices and how it made it hard to live. But yours is like, man, you need to be a man earlier than I wanted to be. Looking back on that, is there a part of you that wants to think of?
Well, I do think of for who I am today, because I'm a firm believer that everything happens for a reason, you know? Like, if that didn't happen, I probably would have grew up doing everything wrong. You know, back in the days, I was an asshole. I was doing everything I shouldn't have been doing. You know, I should have been locked up a long time ago. I should have been dead a long time ago with the things that I was doing when I was younger. You know, and then she sat me down like, nah, this the wrong path. And she had people watch over me, you know, this the wrong path. I'm gonna keep you busy. You know, you gonna work. You gonna do this, you gonna do that. And at the time, and even now, it's still hard and difficult to realize what happened, but I understand what happened, you know. And to answer your first question, I do feel like a weight was lifted off my shoulders with that record. That's actually maybe the third record that I wrote about my mom's. It was hard to write that record because the other ones I kind of touched on it. Black and White, I touched on it. Ain't No Sunshine, which is a good record. I kind of touched on it, and I said, you know what? Let me fully vent. Let me get it all out. That record's maybe 48 to 60 bars of just, you know, how I feel about my mom's, which I don't know if anybody else really did at the time, you know. They made a touch on it, you know. I had promised, you know, Tupac, you know, even though it's crack fiend, mama, you know, it's a Black Queen, you know. They bring it out, but you know, this is what happened in detail. You feel me?
No, definitely. You know, as we spoke earlier, the cover, you know, it's impactful for me. You know what I mean? It gives us like that real time vibe. Like, what made you want to do that? What made you just say, hey, you know what, me, my kids, most important things, let this be the cover?
Well, they actually, the reasons that I'm here today. You know, a lot of people say, you know, they'll go on Facebook and they'll be like, you know, they'll type up, oh, you know, I'm sad, but then when I look at my kids, I realize I gotta go harder, and they be frauding, you know. Depression not something easy to go through. And, you know, one day I was having bad thoughts, and I made up my mind. I said, you know what, I'm gonna kill myself. I went to go kiss my daughter, my Shine, that's the one that's on my arm right now. And I went in the room and I kissed her on the forehead. And then she said, she woke up. Anybody know Cadence? Anybody know Shine? She don't wake up from nothing. She woke up. She said, Daddy, where you going? I said, don't worry about it. I'm crying. Daddy, where you going? I said, nowhere. She was like, come to bed. I said, nah. She said, come to bed. And I laid down, I went to sleep. And they the reason I'm here today. So it's like they're my real life therapist, you know. They got me here. They kept me here. So I did it for them.
That's powerful right there. I respect that. The entire process of putting this together, therapy session, how long did it take?
It took maybe 2 years. The outro was actually originally supposed to be the intro. And I was thinking before I actually pieced everything together, I made that record maybe 2013, 2014, with this dope artist. His name is Lady J. And I was just like, you know, let me try something different and let me do a real record, you know, how I'm stressed and this and the third. And it came out dope. And from then on, I'm like, you know what? Hearing everything I did, I was actually still doing Brooklyn's Finest when I made that record. And then that record just stuck with me. It's like, you know what? You need to do this. I have a lot of songs, and it's just that one just really stuck with me. And that's probably like the skeleton of it. So since that record started and I was doing Brooklyn's Finest, let me piece everything else together.
Well, if you're saying it took 2 years, like that's real. We live in like a microwavable era where people would come in and book a 10-hour session, record, and they're trying to release it. So the 2 years, what was going on in that time? Was it like, okay, I'm recording, I'm leaving, doing something else, coming back to it, wait, I'm not motivated today, I'm battling. Like, how did you put it together, you know, within them 2 years? And when did you know it was done?
Within those 2 years, like I said, I was working on Brooklyn's Finest. I was on tour in New York. I was really busy with that, working real life stuff, you know, taking care of my daughters, and writing, making sure that my stuff was down packed, finding the right beats, finding the right producers and everything. Then I would come to the studio, Zyx, and Q, he's my main producer. You know, we would sit down and, you know, I paid for the whole project up front, like, listen, we're gonna do this, whatever. And I already don't go to anybody but Q, so he already knows, we have the chemistry, he already knows how I want to sound. He's honest with me, so he'll tell me, listen, you know, maybe you should do it like this, maybe you should do it like that, change this word, change that word, you know. Or he'll tell me, like, listen, it's not working today, come back another day. You know, we'll record a bunch of records, come back and mix them. Whatever, like, we took our time with this, which I appreciated, you know.
How important is that? I was having a conversation recently where I said that I feel like some of the best music comes from, you know, artists who go to like one producer and have that chemistry and, you know what I'm saying, that understanding of each other. You know what I mean? The producer knowing where your pocket is at. You know, you being able to come in and say like, I just got this idea, and being able to take it to run it. How important is that for you?
So when you're doing an album, a song, whatever you want to do, you know, you have you, which is the rap artist or the singer artist. You have the producer who does the beats. You have the engineer who brings everything together. You know, it's all important to have that one, like, to have that vibe. The chemistry has to be right. You know, what I respect about Zyx, they don't do it for the money, they do it for the love. You know? And that's what's important. You know, I've been to a couple other studios and it's, you know, they'll lightly mix your stuff, level it up or whatever, and send you on your way after you pay them for the time. You know, here it's not like that. We're gonna get this done.
Shout out to those guys. There's a lot of that going on.
Facts. So it's like, come here, you ain't got it to work with you, you know? And sometimes that's needed to know that they on your side, not on the side of their pocket, you feel me? Of course it's a business, everybody has to get paid, but when it's not mainly that, you get comfortable and you get to know we a team, you feel me?
Yeah.
And that's what's most important. So I don't go anywhere but Zayax to record. If I'm at another studio, I'm probably doing a feature for that artist, then I'm out. You know?
Okay.
I'm more so like actually doing my features here and then sending it off, you know? Because the vibe is just sort of not that you don't sound good right there, do it over. Do it over.
What's your favorite song on the project?
That one is difficult. I have favorite songs for different reasons. For example, Above the Sky, the intro. The way I presented myself and I was in different pockets, I was rapping, I switched the flow, the beat, everything. I feel I set it off real good. My penmanship on that record is top notch, I feel, you know. As far as a message is concerned, I really, really, really like She's Cold because of what I was saying. You know, I believe in it. You can hear the frustration in my voice. What the fuck they really wanted me? Never known for taking two sides, only one of me. You know, luckily I'm a Gemini, so it's double me. So I really felt like I need to vent, and then, you know, that's probably my favorite record on the whole project. After that, it'll probably be Voices because of the bars.
What record would you say people would consider the most unpredictable or surprising to hear from you?
It would probably be Ain't No Sunshine. That's been the most, that would be the most, I wouldn't say impactful, but it had the most shock value. When I spoke to my moms, you're gonna be my moms regardless, but why the fuck you had me eating out the garbage? When people heard that bar, you know, they was like, oh shit, you know, it took them by surprise. And it's almost like unbelievable, but that really happened. You understand what I'm saying? Like that really happened. So when people sit there and they listen, that's probably something that's gonna stand out, because who knows gonna make them eat out the garbage, you know? So that would probably be the most like, oh shit.
On I Need Your Help, you mentioned you know, some of the sacrifices that you've, you know, undertaken to pursue this dream. It had me thinking, do you have any regrets? You know, you mentioned, you know, having to sometimes choose maybe bills over studio time, taking care of your daughters over, you know what I mean, mixing or paying for a show, you know, all of those things that, you know, I probably would say to people, number one, wouldn't touch on, but it's like really real. You know what I mean? Does that weigh on you a lot?
It weighs on me a lot because when you think about hip hop, a lot of people say hip hop's a young man's game. You know, I'm 29 right now. You know, and I'm only getting older every second that passes. You feel me? So when I was doing 1 million shows, I was 23, 24, and I was all over New York. You know, I remember I had like a 20 something minute set. Q actually did a showcase or whatever. He was on the Tobacco Road Lounge, and I brought out a ton of people. I had a whole bunch of females on stage. Like that stuff right there is something I feel I could be doing every day, but I had to sacrifice so much because music is expensive. You understand what I'm saying? Like you said, shows, studio time, everything, whatever. There's a lot of money that goes into it, and I always had to get hit with the choice of it's either do this or do that. And I always had to do that because my daughter needs Infamil, you know, which is very expensive. You know, my daughter needs clothes, my daughter needs diapers, rent gotta get paid, phone bill, you know, a whole bunch of stuff that goes on in your real life that you can't focus on being an artist. You know, I had to be focused on a Christian and not focused on Priceless Esther Dawn.
Yes.
He had to get pushed to the side for the bigger picture.
I respect that. Another record for me that stands out is Couples Therapy. It feels like that's really personal and might be like a true story. Do you want to touch on that?
Yeah, so like I said, with this whole project, I really want to emphasize the fact that this is probably 99.999% real. Like, I try not to even fabricate anything, exaggerate anything.
Mhm.
So with couples therapy, I got so real that the feature Shot Money, she actually grew up with my girlfriend, my current girlfriend, and she and I are very close, so she knows a lot of things that go on. So, you know, I felt that was good because we're arguing as if I'm arguing with my girl. So that's the closest I could have got with that.
Okay.
And then, you know, it's a line where I'm like, yo, why you threw my phone? And she like, where's my common sense, my nigga? Who the fuck Nicole? Let me guess, just some bitch you met at work. I knew you would say that shit. That's why I said it first. So, you know, I always got in trouble with fucking with bitches at my job. That's just something that always happened. Nicole was a female that, you know, my girl was uncomfortable with. So I said, you know what, let me go all the way there.
Yeah.
Like I did with every other record. It's just not
Yeah.
entertainment. I want to go all the way there. And the way we rapped it, I wanted to rap. I wanted to rhyme while we talk instead of just rapping. I didn't want to have a specific flow. I wanted us to argue while we rhyme. And I think we executed that very well.
On Niggas Be Lying, it has like an anthem feel for me, you know, like I could kind of compare it to other records that we gotten over the past, say, 5 to 10 years in New York. Niggas Be Lying. Was that like your intent? Do you feel like, yo, I could see this being hashtag like tomorrow? Niggas Be Lying, and we're gonna run around and you're gonna hit at the corner store. Did you get that from that immediately?
Facts. When we actually shot the video, in the video you'll see hashtag NPL.
Okay.
That record, that's actually real too because this dude just kept lying to me in my ear about some stupid shit. Like niggas just be lying about stupid shit. Like
All the time.
Just be honest. Like be you. You feel me? You don't gotta be nobody else but yourself. And you know it was just aggravating to me how the stupid shit niggas be lying about, females be lying about, and it's like, yo, my nigga, niggas be lying and straight to your face at that. Like what the fuck? You feel me? And that's really where it came from. Then we kind of catchy hook. I'm like, you know, let's go back and forth. I got my man B Felix on it. And I'm like, you know, let's just make a catchy hook. And also with that record, I wanted to show that I could kind of be up to date with it. So I auto-tuned my voice. I did a simple catchy hook. There wasn't too many bars in there, you know. I made it melodic and everything, you know. I really just showed my versatility on that record while still being true to myself.
Lastly, I want to touch on two things. Number one, what made you say, hey, this is an album instead of calling it a mixtape or EP? I feel like that's like widely popular today, and I don't really have somebody that can explain to me why. I think it's more so like, oh, it's 7 songs an EP. So I want to get it from you. What made you say, hey, this is an album as opposed to those other categories?
With the album, I feel like I did that because I wanted them to take me as serious as I took me serious. With a mixtape, it's like, okay, it's just a mixtape. A million niggas got a million mixtapes, you know. Yo, check out my mixtape. Check out my niggas on 42nd Street, downtown Brooklyn, they everywhere. So it just gets oversaturated in people's minds. Mixtape, like they don't even believe what you say. You know, it's just like, my nigga, you swimming in with everybody else. So I wanted to call it an album. I want people to see the seriousness I took in it, you know. I'd have to go to a studio, you know, an actual studio. We in the studio right now.
Yes, sir.
You know, I have a photographer. I took the thing in a film studio, the cover on the film studio. You know, we take this serious.
Yeah.
Just as serious as a mainstream artist should take the album, I did that. You know, I invested all of the money that I had into this. So I wanted them to take that as serious as I did.
And is it only available on your website?
Only available on my website right now because, one, I don't want to be grouped up as a SoundCloud artist. You know, you tell people that you rap, they'll laugh at you. You got a SoundCloud, what's your SoundCloud link? You know, like a mainstream artist has their website, I have my website. I don't want to be drowned in with the Dat Piff artists, with the my mixtapes. You got to go through a million other artists or whatever. Oh, matter of fact, let me go to this mixtape. Let me go to that mixtape. EstherDawnMusic.com, you want to do with Esther Dawn. It's right there. It's easy. It's accessible. It's mobile friendly. You know, it's whatever you need. You can listen to it for free, or if you want, you can buy it. You know, $9.99 just like a regular.
$9.99, man. Spend your $10 on the bro. That's the Dawn, aka Priceless. You know I am, Jason Bourne.
Appreciate
200
you.
blocks on. Therapy session is available now. Mind where they can find you at, man.
Listen, everybody know y'all can find me at SirDawnMusic.com, of course. Instagram, Esther Dawn. Music page on Facebook, Esther Dawn. Twitter, Esther Dawn. 2 Certified is the brand that we have right now. You see the hats that we have. You know, it's doing very, very, very well. Clothing coming soon as well. You can also find the music on 2certified.com. Like, we taking it serious. Instagram, 2certified.com. Everything is being taken serious from this point forward.
There you go. 2 Certified. If I wore hats, I have one. You know what it is, man. Stay tuned. More to come for my guy. Shout out to Zayax. We here, man. Brooklyn, uptown.
Appreciate you, bro.